Welcome to Gaia's Love, a podcast of brief messages to help humanity bridge the gap to the new earth. My name is Vivienne Gerard. It is my delight to be a scribe for consciousness today, sharing the wisdom that flows through from Source. Here we go. Episode 277. It is Thursday. Here in Cincinnati, it's hot, sticky, still no rain, but the sky is blue and beautiful. Today is my yoga day with my mom. We are starting back to our yoga class, so I'm playing with the timing of the podcast and getting my son to school and the schedule, and we'll kind of see how this works out. I'd like to keep doing podcasts for the Thursdays, but we'll just see. So for today, I just love this title so much. I love what I'm going to be sharing with you so much, and there's all this energy moving through my body, which is validity of what I'm going to be sharing and also excitement for my day. So I'm going to stay really grounded and try to transmit in the purest vibration in which I can. So the title for today is Human Dancer, and it comes from this song that, of course, my son played on the way to school this morning. It's by, of all names, The Killers, but it's called Human. And there's this line, the main line, where the singer says, "Are we human or are we dancer?" And he describes in the lyrics the contrast between, the physical human journey and the soul and the experiences that are, as he said, I go home when I go to sleep. The ways that we play and the places in between. And it's so perfect because I want to share an experience that I had last night. And I was struggling between the title of validity, and then this one came through in my meditation. I'm like, oh yeah, this is way more in alignment. So I looked up the word validity, the definition of that this morning, because I thought that would be the title. And it was all science-based. It was like, finding the logic that supports the hypothesis, or finding the reasoning that supports the exploration. And it was based on this, proving. And that is some of what I'm going to be sharing. There's proof, there's evidence, there's validity. And yet human dancer is so much better, so much more the magic of it. And yeah, let me breathe for a moment. I can just feel how excited I am to share it. So I'm just landing here with you. So I believe it was the day before, in the Hearing podcast, I shared that my friend Andrea and I are co-creating this new program that we're offering. It's called Quietly Listening with Viv and Andrea. So I'm going to give just a background of how this came to be, which again just proves the magic of all of it. I had some quiet time by myself maybe a month ago. I took a day to strategize, brainstorm, feel into what is it I want to create next. It might have even been longer than that. Maybe it was right after the festival. Maybe it's been 2 months. It's been a while. And all of these ideas came through. And I was sitting in my bed with my journal, playing music, just like feeling into all this energy of what is it that I'm going to be birthing through me in my business, and what is the next iteration of what it is that I do. Because it's always expanding and evolving. And I was writing down some of the things I currently do, and then I was just sitting there and I kept getting the message, like, just be still and allow something new to come through. And then all of a sudden I just started stream writing this Quietly Listening with Viv and Andrea, and this whole beautiful description of it just landed on the paper. And I was amazed. And then right after that, I sat again quietly, and the whole Lunch and Love with Viv came through, which has been absolute magic. And so there was just all this new energy that was coming through. So I called my friend Andrea the next day or a couple days later, and I said, hey, can I read you something? And I read it to her, and she's like, yes, I am totally in. That's amazing. And so we've been creating it over the last few weeks and putting it into some sort of physical form by a web page and structure and, the setup for the phone call and like all the logistics of it. And I knew the whole time how excited I felt about it. I'm like, this is going to be rock star awesome, but we've never done it in this way before. And I don't know, but it feels like it is, but I don't know. And in my meditations, I just keep getting like, you are going to love this experience so much. So our first one is next week, Wednesday, but we decided to have a small sort of test study last night to see how it would work. So basically, here's the idea, right? I love acupuncture, which some people don't like because they're afraid of needles. I don't like needles at all. And yet acupuncture is more energy work than it is needles. And so acupuncture has become this incredible way of healing for me. I used to do it locally here with a beautiful woman, Kristen, who owns a studio called Tiny Needle Acupuncture. So if you're here in Cincinnati, you've never had acupuncture before, this is absolutely a plug. Go see Tiny Needle Acupuncture Kristen and tell her you heard about her work through me. She's amazing and she's local. So I used to go and have these local treatments because then she could actually see me and put the needles in me, and it was, so amazing for my body. Well, then my friend Andrea, who's the one who introduced me to acupuncture, she's based in New York. She said, I've been playing with this idea that we could do this virtually. And I'm like, virtual acupuncture? I don't understand. I don't get it. She's like, well, you lay in your bed and I close my eyes and tune into you energetically, and I can see or feel what's happening with you, and then I just visualize with my eyes closed that I'm putting the needles into the places where I would put them if you were laying in front of me on the table. So because her intention is so precise and clear, where she visualizes putting the needle, you can feel the needle shifting the energy in your own body here, like distance dissolves because it becomes an energy session. So she said, do you want to try it? I'm like, hell yeah, 100%. Well, now, it's my favorite thing. It's literally one of my most favorite things to do. It's amazing. So the first few times we did it, I would lay in bed and she would be in New York, and she'd call and we'd get set up, and then she'd hang up and I'd put music on and I would just lay there and bliss out for an hour and have all these visions and all of these feelings of energy moving through my body, and it was so good. It was so good. So I've done many of these sessions and it's never disappointed. It has always been exactly what she sees and I see, and the sharing that we do afterwards completely validates it. So the idea for this new offering is that we would co-create something together, and it would be community. So we would be bringing more people together into a healing space, and it would be virtual, and people would call into a phone line, and then we'd say hello, do a little introduction. I would do a short meditation, and then Andrea would do a 20-minute virtual acupuncture session on the group, because groups always are like attract like energetically when you're doing this sort of work. And so there's always going to be a match in the people who show up with something that they want to clear or heal or release. Can you hear all the excitement in my voice? My whole body is still so happy. So we decided we were going to do this and try it out and see how it worked. So last night was our first one, and we had, I think, 8 of us on the call. And Andrea and I had a sense of how it would go, but we weren't quite sure because this is her first time doing it in a community setting virtually. So we got on the call, we did the introduction, did the grounding meditation, and then I had a music playlist set up. And so I turned on music, and all the lines were muted, and she started doing her acupuncture. So here's my experience, and this is why I'm so excited to share it with you. So I'm sitting there. Normally for acupuncture or massage, you take all your clothes off and you lay on a table and you have a blanket over you. I'm sitting here at the end of the day. It was 9 o'clock at night because we were doing it right before bedtime. I'm sitting in my chair. I've got the computer in front of me, monitoring the phone lines, making sure everything's working. headphone, or headset on one ear with the music playing, holding the phone with the other one. And all of a sudden, and she had said, I'm going to work on releasing because it's fall, which is aligned with the Chinese medicine element of metal. I mean, she's so smart, so smart. She knows so much science and so much body stuff. So she's saying all these things that are just magical into the call. And then I put the music on and she starts doing acupuncture and I'm sitting in the chair. Literally, my heart is it's the complete contrast to the sweat lodge. I just realized this. Remember in the sweat lodge, I said how my heart was beating, but it was so intense and I wasn't enjoying it. This was the total opposite. It was my heart was so filled up with joy and happiness and delight and the feeling of this group and all the capacity that this group has in their heart chakras to expand, and the container itself with all the joy, and Andrea and I, how much love we hold. My heart was it was just getting so full and so happy and just so good. And I was sitting there, I'm I just can't even wear my bra. This is my bra is making it hard to breathe. So in the middle of the session, I'm taking my bra off and putting it on the bed. I was oh, now my heart can expand. And I'm feeling all this joy. And Andrea had said we're going to be working on the heart and the lungs. And so I'm feeling such bliss moving through my heart. So happy, still trying to monitor the lines and look at things, but having this experience. And then all of a sudden my crown chakra, I'm oh, there's so much light or energy that wants to come in my crown, but I don't know why. I thought we were doing heart. And so I just allowed all this energy to start to flow in through my crown chakra. And then there was just this beautiful movement, the circular flow of energy from my heart chakra out and then up and then down through my crown again to my heart and then out. And it was so incredible. So I'm just sitting here sort of watching the clock to make sure she had what she needed, and watching the phone lines and having this amazing experience. And then all of a sudden I could feel some old stories start to pop up. And I'm oh, that's not necessary. I don't have to go back into those stories of why I can't feel good. I'm just going to release that out and go back into the joy and go back into the bliss. I was just so happy. And so she came back on the line. She said, we're complete and have a beautiful evening. And so we all started hanging up the phones. And I had said to her, call me when you're done if you want to talk. So she calls and I was oh my God, I have to tell you everything that just happened to me. And I'm sharing this experience with her. She's that's hysterical. I took off my bra too. I couldn't handle it. It was too tight. And then I said, what was with the crown? I thought we were doing heart and lungs. She's there was too much light coming in. I just realized we had to just open up the crown and allow ourselves to receive. So I just opened, I put a needle point is how she described it, at the top of the crown, and it just released all this energy. I'm I felt it. And then I said, I had this moment where I felt some old story. She's I could feel that happening in the group. So I just visualized this pink rose just dusting out all the old stuff that we're trying to hang on to limit ourselves. And so I just dusted it all off and then allowed more joy to come in. Oh my gosh. Seriously, it was off the charts amazing. Amazing. So, as I try to control how much joy is moving through me, here's what I want to say in this space, because it feels like a declaration to the universe. Virtual acupuncture is going to be the next yoga. It is going to be the thing that transforms humanity in a way that we cannot even understand yet, because it combines all the wisdom of ancient Chinese studies forever and ever with the body, with the current technology, with the wisdom of this younger generation who's so open to new ways of doing things. Virtual acupuncture is going to be the next yoga, and I guarantee my friend Andrea is leading the way and is going to be teaching the teachers on how to do this. So there you go. There you go. My statement of what is true, what I know to be happening. And it's so good. So I don't even know what else to say. You should try it, is probably the next thing I would say. You should 100% try it and just see our next one, our first live one as an open exchange that people pay for is going to be next Wednesday. It's $33. You get all the information when you sign up, and then you call in at 9 o'clock Eastern. You lay in your bed, you will bliss out, and then you will fall asleep, and you will have the best night's rest. So we're going to do it twice a month. I don't know, unless it becomes so popular so fast that we have to do it more often. But right now it's twice a month. The more people, this is what we were saying in the space last night, when one person is doing energy work with a healer, it's amazing and you can have transformative experiences. When you have a really clear container, an amazing healer, and you bring more people into that space who focus on the same kind of healing, you are amping up the power of what is happening there exponentially. Exponentially. The more people, the more intense and amazing and powerful the experience. And so it's not like what I was describing perhaps with the sweat lodge, where you could bring a lot of people in and the focus is on fear, and so fear becomes this like amplified fear, and then it's toxic. This is the complete contrast. You come in with the intention of a releasing and a realigning and an expert who can help you with your body. And the more people in that space, the more amplified that experience will be for everybody. I told her last night, I said, you're going to be doing this for hundreds, and then you're going to be doing it for thousands, and then you will be doing this for festivals. And I know in every cell of my body I'm speaking the truth. And it's incredible to be a witness of this journey that she's stepping into. I mean, Andrea Henkel's deepest of bows, my love. You are so on your path. It's so exciting. So, yeah, this is 100% an ad for acupuncture. If you don't want to try it virtually, at least go try it locally with someone in your area, and then maybe that'll open you up to this concept of virtual. But it's good, people. It's so good. It's so good. All right, I am going to switch gears and go do yoga with my mom and our beautiful guide, Catherine, and then move right into a lunch and love with some of my local people in Covington. It's such a good day. Such a good day. I'm sending you just waves of this joy. Have a great day. Thank you for tuning into this vibration of pure love. I invite you to join me in aligning with the optimal health of your mind, body, spirit in the virtual community of Viv's Energy Gym. You can learn more at mysouljourney.com. Let's take this message of Gaia's love out into all of our relationships and communities today. So much love from my heart to yours.